Hello family, welcome to my YouTube channel again. So on today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to cut this sleeveless shirt jumpsuit with a flap. So first off, I took the length of my shorts, which was 16 inches, and then I took my crotch measurement. My crotch measurement is 11, and then I took my hip measurement, which is 9, and then I draw a line across, as you can see me do. So after that, guys, I took my hip measurements. This is me laboring the line so you can understand me better. So I took my hip measurements divided by 4, which is 11. So whatever I have on my hip, I marked it on my waist, and then I draw a line across, as you can see me do. I'm just extending the cross length forward a bit. After that, guys, I took my thigh measurement. I took my thighs measurement, that is my lap measurement, divided by 2, and then I marked it. And then I also marked what I measured on my crotch line at the end of my shorts, and then I draw a straight line, just like so, just as you can see me do. So after that, you just draw your curve like that. If you don't have a curve ruler, you can use your free hand to draw your curve, but in my own case, I am using my curve ruler. Please, when you're using your curve ruler, make sure the bottom of your curve is sitting directly on the line of your crotch. So, and that is it. So from my waist area, at the other end from my waist area, I came in by 1 inch. At this point, I didn't know my camera wasn't recording that part. My pattern wasn't showing on the camera, so I just connected the 1 inch I marked from my waist down to my hip, and then this is me cutting it out as so. I placed my pattern paper on my fabric, and I added 1 inch allowance on both sides, and then I cut it out. So for the back area, I came up by 1 inch, and then I added 1 inch allowance around the crotch side down to the lap for sewing. And the reason why I added 1 inch is because you can add 2 inch, you can add 2.5, depending on how the person butt is. Me, I don't have butt, so I just added 1 inch of allowance around that area. As you can see, where I marked the chalk at the back, the crotch area, added 1 inch allowance. You can add 2 inch, you can add 2.5, you can add 1.5, depending on the body you are working with. And that is all for the back. So I like notching where I'll be folding my fabric, where my fold will start. So this is me just notching where my fold will start. So after that, guys, that is all for the shorts. For the shirt part, I measured my full length, which is 18 inches. Yeah, I measured my full length, which is 18 inches, and then I took my shoulder measurement, which is 7 inches, and then I marked, as you can see me do. Then I took my armhole measurement, which is 8 inches, and then I draw a straight line, just as so. And then I measured my half length, which is 16. My full length is 18, my half length is 16. So I also repeated my shoulder measurement on my armhole so that I will get a straight line. This is me drawing the straight line. I'm sorry, guys, that my chalk is not really visible. Then back to the neck, I measured my 3 inches wideness for my neck, and then I measured 1 inch because this is the back. I measured 1 inch, and then I used my curve ruler. Sorry, guys, I measured 1.5 inch, and then I used my curve ruler to draw out the curve like so. And then from my shoulder tip, I came down by 1 inch to get my shoulder slope, and this is me drawing out my shoulder slope, connecting my shoulder slope to my neck point. Afterwards, guys, this is me trying to take my armhole curve. So guys, you can decide to just take your armhole curve like just like that, but for others that do not have armhole curve, I will be measuring this. So I measured what I have from my shoulder to my armhole, divided into two, and then I came in by 1/2 of an inch, and then I used my armhole curve to connect the points, just as you can see me do. I measured my bust measurement, my bust measurements divided into four. I mean, guys, and then I added my 1/2 1 inch allowance. I measured my waist measurements divided by 4, and then I added my sewing allowance. And this is me using my ruler to connect, just as you can see. Afterwards, I cut it out. So guys, at this point, if you join me, watch this video up to this extent, and you've not liked or subscribed to my YouTube channel, please guys, endeavor to subscribe and like this video. So proceed to the back. I took my armhole measurement. I measured my shoulder, which is 7 inches. I measured the same 7 inches on my armhole, so that I will get a straight line. So from my shoulder, I came down by 1 inch. Just the same way we did for the back is the same thing we'll be doing for the front. Exactly the same thing we did for the back is what we'll be doing for the front. As you can see, I'm using my free hand to draw my armhole curve. I took my bust measurement, divided into 4, and then I added my sewing allowance. I did the same thing on my waist, and then I added my sewing allowance. And this is me connecting the points together. Don't mind me, guys, I am trying to manage my material here, and I was out of pattern paper, so that's why I didn't use pattern paper for the illustration. At this point, I didn't know my pattern was not on my camera. Like, I didn't know what I was doing was out of the camera. But with my explanation, I am sure that you'll be able to understand what I am doing. So this is me cutting out my pattern. And guys, that is basically all you need for this outfit. So I just took one part of the fabric, I slit it open. That will serve as our front piece. And then guys, this is me showing you that you have to take a piece of the fabric, so you turn it for your buttons. And then I cut out my preferred neckline off camera. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. See you on our next tutorial.